Hey, what's going on, guys? Manny Jr. here, and this time we have a little different setup. The reason I'm recording this video is because I wanted to share some of the experiences I had in the past traveling, and one of my best experiences was traveling throughout Thailand. I was in Chiang Mai, I was in Bangkok, I was in Pattaya, I was in Phuket, all over the place. So I want to just share a couple of the experiences, but this time was probably one of the most scary and crazy experiences I had in Thailand. So I arrived in Thailand from India. I was very tired. I was sick, and obviously I'm gonna post the India story next time. But I was I lost like 15 pounds in in India from being sick and whatnot. I arrived in Bangkok. I went to Chiang Mai. I flew to Chiang Mai. I spent around 7 days in Chiang Mai. Then I flew to Bangkok and I took the bus from Bangkok to Pattaya. And if you know that that little uh, bus trip is about 3 hours. Anyways, I arrived in Pattaya. I was tired. I was sleepy. I was hungry. And the bus, they drop you off at the bus stop. I took my luggage, got out, sat down, grabbed my phone, and I decided to call a Bolt or Uber over there. I think it was Bolt or Grab, one of the two. I think. And I was waiting, and 5 minutes passed, and the driver texted me, "Hey, I'm running late because the traffic was so heavy." And my Airbnb, the room that I was staying, was about 15 minutes away from that bus stop. So I said, "Okay, let me just wait here." And I was waiting, and 5 minutes passed, 10 minutes passed, and I'm waiting for my driver. And around 12 minutes passed, and he arrived. And I went to grab my luggage. I grabbed my luggage, and when I looked to the side, my backpack was missing. My backpack was missing. I had my laptops. I have my cameras, DSLR, GoPro. I have my passport. I have money inside. I was it, I entered in this kind of panic mode, shock, because my whole blood went up and down a couple of times, and I literally just jumped from the bench that I was sitting, and I looked, left and right, and I told the driver, "Oh, my back, I don't have my backpack." But Thai people, they don't really speak English like that, so I was just trying to explain with my hands what was happening. So he said, "I cannot, I cannot wait." And I told him, "I need to find my backpack. It's not here. I think I forgot it in the bus, and it left 50 minutes ago." So I said, "Okay, let me just calm down. I need to find a way to, solve this problem because I have everything I need in that backpack." So I told the driver, "Just you can leave. I'm gonna cancel I'm gonna cancel it." I gave him $10, US dollars. He didn't want the $10 at first, because they want Thai baht, and I only had uh, 1,000 bahts, like $100 changed in bahts. With I forgot the amount, but because I changed $100 in the Bangkok International Airport before I left Pattaya. But anyways, I gave him $10. He left, and I looked to my left, and there was a bunch of locals there with scooters, just talking and smoking. And I don't know if they were taxi. They didn't have any signs or stuff if they were taxi drivers or not. But I went straight to them, and I was trying to explain to them in English. Obviously, I lost my backpack. I think I left it in the bus, and I left it. I need to find it. Please take me. Please take me. I'm explaining this with my hands. and I'm breathing heavy and I'm sweating and I'm tired and sleepy and hungry, everything. They started looking at each other to see, you know, to try to understand. But I was like, please take me, bike, take the bike, take me, please. Follow bus. I'm talking to them like this. So one of them decided to take me, and he grabbed my luggage. It was pretty heavy. It was like about 45 pounds. He grabbed a big luggage, put it in the front of the scooter, and then he's obviously in the middle and I'm in the back. And I told him, just follow the bus is blue and white, and they all look the same. That particular company, blue and white bus, tourist bus. So we took off through the streets, and we looking that right. He's, in between the traffic, and we stopped. I told him to stop on every bus we saw that looked similar to the bus. I made him stop in the middle of the traffic, and I got out of the bike, and I'm knocking on the door, on the bus door, and the driver is looking at me crazy, and I'm, please open my backpack. And they opened the door of the bus, and I went in through the whole middle aisle, and I looked, no backpack. Got out, we kept going to the next one, through heavy traffic in Pattaya, heavy traffic, and we're driving through that. Oh my God, I'm sweating, and he's sweating. It's like 100 degrees, and the humidity is crazy. We got in the next bus, same thing. Got out in the middle of the street, the middle of the traffic. Boom, 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 knocking on the door. They opened the door, and I'm lucky that this drivers opened the door for me of the buses, because they probably saw him. This is a Falang, this is a foreigner. He seems desperate. They opened the door. I went in the second one, looked, nothing there. Went on the next one, the third one, and this is about 12 minutes into the drive through the traffic. The third bus, for some reason, everybody is just tripping. Of course they get nervous because they see how nervous I was. And I knocked on the door. Please open the door. My backpack, I think, is there. And they started looking, at each other. They have the driver has like an assistant driver on the side. And at first they don't want to open the door because they think I'm going to do something to them. But thank God they opened that door on the third bus in the middle of the street, traffic in Pattaya. I got out, went to the aisle, and I saw my backpack there. And the relief I had was so much that I was like, I think a tear came down from, like, I was so happy to find that backpack. Can't even imagine the relief. And I got out and I told the driver. He asked me, "Is that the one? Is that the one?" And I said, "Yes, this is the one. Thank you so much." I was just laughing and freaking crying from the happiness I had finding that. Mind you, I had the passport, my money, and everything. I put it there because usually you wear this little thing that you wear to put the most important things, which I had that little thing inside my backpack to make it less, easier to carry around. Anyways, we finished that, and I told him I'm gonna, you know, I put Google Maps, and I told him, hey, just take me here to the Airbnb, man. And he took me there to my Airbnb. Arrived, I got out, and I gave him basically the $100 baht amount. Um, I forgot the amount, but it's around $29 per 1,000 baht. So that's close to 4,000 baht. And he looked at me, and he was so shocked that I gave him that money. And I said, well, I was trying to explain. I have my laptops here, my cameras, my passport. This is nothing, man. I need to buy you a new scooter if I could. That's how much happiness I felt at that time. But he was so grateful, and he was just so happy, and just grateful that I gave him, that amount of money. But like I said, if I had more money at that time, more baht, sheesh, he saved me from probably the biggest scare I had in my whole trip. But it was a crazy experience, and then I had a good time in Pattaya. I went to different places, temples. It's a beautiful place. It has the dark side of Pattaya, but it also has great places in Pattaya. Don't get it twisted. Don't get confused, because a lot of people think Pattaya is only for fun, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. No, it has a lot of great, beautiful places if you visit it. So it all depends on what you want and what you're looking for. Um, but other than that, uh, that's my story in Pattaya that I always will always remember. Thank you for listening, and I will be sharing some other good stories that I had in Thailand. It was almost a month that I spent in Thailand, so incredible country, and I hope I could go back one day again very soon. All right, guys, until the next one. Peace.